I think the Bill Gates is responsible. Okay. So there are also many discussions, okay, or debates. Okay, we are wasting our important class hours for lecturing. Okay, even though lecturing is no more effective. So many students, most students forget most things they learned from the classroom. Okay. So here we have a kind of quality failures from university education. But industry claims they are not ready. Okay, they are far from reality, and they do not have enough professional knowledge. We should train them again, and we need creativity, problem solving, leadership, teamwork, communication, and so on. Okay, but university also claimed they demand too much. Okay, so we are not for your job training. Okay, so we pursue different values, very academic ones. So our requirements, their requirements are too diverse. We cannot focus on. So here we have a kind of quality gap model. Okay, industry needs and their expectations, but university has some perceptions, very limited perception on their needs and expectations. Okay, here we have a very serious gap, and then the university may have a very limited resources on their educational delivery. Okay, so we have a lot of gaps. Okay. Some of the gaps can be explained like this, like explained by some different mindset and goals between the industry and the university. So they may claim the university education is more oriented, discipline-oriented, and so on. Many different mindset and values. Okay, there is a great divide and gaps. So, however, to resolve these differences, we need more communication, interaction, and even collaboration. Okay, but may not be easy, but it might be the best way. So there have been many good ways for reducing the gaps between the industry and the university. Okay, many more ideas and methods. However, we have another important reason. Okay, so educational delivery systems. Okay, so conventional lecturing is not effective. Okay, industry needs more hands-on learning and labs and cases. Okay, we need some different skill sets. Okay, and also the industry needs some continuous training and learning. Okay, but the learning resources are not easily accessible from the industry. So here we have a process for acquiring a job, more enrollment, building skill, learning, and finding job. But in the processes, I think the bottleneck is with the delivery process. Okay. What is the delivery process? It's our classroom. So, you know, the lecturing has many limitations. Okay, one-way information transfer. Students are very passive. Every professor responded, I have too much things to teach. I should deliver all these very efficiently, very fast. Okay. Their learning materials, teaching materials grows and grows each year. There have been many good ideas and methodologies for improving or recovering to overcoming those limitations, okay? Many good development. However, they were not so successful yet, okay? Not implemented in the everyday classroom. Why? Why? Okay. First one is our most important class hours are consumed or wasted for lecturing, okay? Even though lecturing is not so effective. The second one is lecturing is the most convenient for teachers, okay? The last one, PowerPoint problem, okay? Too powerful. So the idea then might be very simple, okay? We need very simple ideas. Don't make any lecturing, okay? It should disappear in classroom, okay? Then we can send current lecturing to internet or the e-learning. The e-learning technology is well matured. So then we have enough time, enough class hours, okay? We can then make use of such class hours for different purposes. So we developed our new ways of teaching, okay? So we called it Education 3.0 4 years ago, but it happened to be very close to currently well-known flipped learning, okay? But it's a little different, okay? So we do not make any lecturing in the classroom, okay? Then in classroom, okay, we can do discussions, problem solving, team-based works, team-based learning, or many problem solving, hands-on, even labs and case studies and so on. All these methodologies, okay, we have implemented. So then they have been proven to be very successful, very effective, okay? Higher satisfaction from the students and even the professors and TAs, and even better achievement. So I think they can improve. They are thinking in the classroom, okay, now. So it is not intended for improving their exam scores, okay? We believe interaction or student participation can improve their learning, more creative or synthesis or problem solving, communication, teamwork, and leadership. All these talents are needed by recent or the future industry, okay? There are also some scientific evidences, okay? These can improve concentration, long-term memory, structuring the knowledge, and even they can improve the characters, okay? So far, in the last year, we had more than 100 classes, but in the future, we will transform more than 30% of our classes. So our story appeared in the Nature, Forbes, and some others, okay? So my point is, it makes sense, okay? It's at least sustainable and also even better. But we are now just beginners, okay? There should be a lot more improvement in the future. So now let me explain the MOOC, okay? Recently, the MOOC grows, okay? In the last 2 years, it appeared very rapid development. Now everybody is talking about MOOC, okay? I think the MOOC is basically very well designed, intended, an internet platform business, okay? It just attract the people. Why? They provide high quality lecturing at no cost. Then many learners. Then they can make some additional services, okay, for cost. Very fast growth. Their courses were provided by the university as they need, okay? So, in the sense, still there is some imbalance between demand and supply, okay? But this will be improved in the future, okay? But I also would like to emphasize the MOOC itself is a kind of e-learning, okay? It has also some limitations, okay? So our university will launch or start our own MOOC, okay? So for our industry, but more importantly for our students, okay? So then by making use of the MOOCs, we can do continuous learning, okay? They might be accessible from everywhere, okay? And also, MOOC can be combined with offline classes, okay? Then it will make a kind of flipped learning, okay? So, MOOC can be used for industry training. Nowadays, many companies like Google, Amazon, even Cisco, they are investing big money for developing courses for their needs. Okay, then future MOOC courses can be more customized, more on demand, or more oriented for on-the-job training. So MOOC and flipped learning. These two recent developments can improve our education. They have a great potential, okay? So, let's think about the gap model again, okay? So, then I think the educational delivery system should shift up to the industry more, okay? By using the internet. In the delivery processes, the industry can participate, okay? So then we have many good ways for filling the gaps, okay? But the most important one is to improve the delivery processes by using the flipped learning or MOOCs and so on, okay? They have a great potential, I believe. Okay, thank you.
네, 지금 테크놀로지가 이 대학이 어떻게 하면은 이 시장 마켓의 관점에서 반응할 수 있을까에 대해서 한 가지 좀 테크놀로지의 역할로서 제시를 해주셨습니다. 그래서 저희가 이제 마지막 연사부는 마이클 스티븐슨입니다. 그는 마이클 was vice president for Cisco, and he's now the expert advisor to OECD. 그래서 그 마이클 스티븐슨을 통해 가지고요 새로운 그 어떤 교육의 산업계와 그리고 이 대학이 함께 나갈 수 있는 윈윈의 관점에서의 어떤 이런 뉴 시스템에 대해서 한번 들어보는 시간을 갖도록 하겠습니다. 박수로서 환영해 주십시오.
Well, many thanks to British Council for giving me the opportunity to be here this afternoon. It's very good to be back in Seoul. Korea's education system is an incredible achievement by any standards. But equally remarkable, I think, is Korea's achievement and determination to modernize its system, even when it's got some of the best universities and arguably the best school system in the world. Well, there's a provocative statement. Employers say universities aren't delivering top-level skills. It is a provocative statement, but I think the argument is quite nuanced. When I was at Cisco, I was struck by how profoundly challenged even the most brilliant hires were by the nature of their work. their 21st century work. And I wanted to explore that issue in a research project, which became a report developing exceptional talent, published just before the turn of the year, a report I've developed with OECD, with Unilever, with Imperial College London, which I think is closely linked with KAIST, and also with the UK's National Centre for Universities and Business. And this is a survey, in effect, of 8 companies, all global, all based in London, ranging from accountancy through energy and extraction, all the way to consumer retail and banking. And in each case, I was looking at the views of their global heads of HR. So the main conclusion was that the work that top companies are doing is getting increasingly complex. No surprises, many top companies continue to see their footprint expand right around the world, BRICS, Asia, Latin America. But they say their work is growing in complexity. It's often really intractable. It combines technical difficulty, but also political sensitivity. They talk about a VUCA world, V for volatility, U for uncertainty, C for complexity, and A for ambiguity. A situation that makes strategic planning really complicated, and business risk just escalates all the time. Their customers are increasingly demanding. They want solutions just for them, nobody else. They want those solutions fast, and they want them cheaper than yesterday. And these companies have more data than they've ever had before. The problem is using it intelligently. And of course, they're under acute pressure to consume fewer resources, the sustainability problem. But in a nutshell, what companies do these days, the big ones, is increasingly solve complex problems, the problems of a 7 billion strong planet. That's how they create profit and stakeholder value. But if that's what leading companies are doing, what's the impact of all of that on their talent requirements? Well, they say they are desperate to find and exploit new and diverse ways of thinking, making sure that the solutions they find to these problems aren't just someone being clever on their own, but rather reflect the diverse intelligences of many different kinds of people thinking in different ways. They talk about triple strength. That's to say, solutions that reflect the perspective of the commercial sector, the public sector, and of government. And people who've had some experience in all 3 of those fields tend, they say, to come up with better solutions. They are looking for people who can develop completely new business models, sometimes before the customer knew they wanted it, anticipating, therefore, customer needs. And they talk about people who exemplify a completely new model of personal leadership. Wherever they are in the company, they don't need to be at the top. You can lead right down at the bottom. But that leadership style is going to be about empathy, humility, resilience, resourcefulness. So breadth becomes much more important than depth, and companies need all-rounders. But the challenge of getting the right people into the company is harder than that. Because many young people, as we know, don't see themselves any longer as working for large companies. If you take this report produced for Davos just 6 weeks ago by the B team, led by Richard Branson, New Ways of Working, there's a very interesting snapshot of how the millennials think. The millennials may have been superseded, as we just heard, but I think they're still pretty critical to the way people are thinking. So this is a generation that doesn't talk any longer about work-life balance. It assumes they'll work all the time. The issue is how you integrate that work with your life. Most common ambition, start your own company. If I do come and work for your company, well, it's going to be on my terms. So 2/3 of young people say their main motivation in going to work for any company is the employer's ability to invest heavily in them so that they can be personally developed. So the boot is on the other foot, the power is shifted. And 70% say that they will ask at their interview if they can use Twitter and Facebook at work. That's on their minds, and that's part of that integration, I think. But the ability to solve the big problems while you're at that work, that remains incredibly important and is part of the higher motivation, I think, of the young generation. So there's a case, I think, to develop a much more strategic talent pipeline than we have today. And around the world, people are looking for structured approaches to developing talent through education-business partnerships. Why? To get the best out of high-performing young people in increasingly complex roles, but also to motivate those young people, to give them a reason for working in the company. So the model I've been working on with OECD, with the Global Education Leaders Program, and with the British consultancy PA, I call the ecosystem model. And here it is. So two processes here are interlocking in a kind of double helix. One is the process of education or talent development, and the other is the process of business innovation, new products and services. What unites these two processes is something that we've begun to hear about over the course of the day, but I want to say more about, which is problem-based learning. So students going through this process, kind of from left to right, they're dealing with real problems provided by real businesses, and that's how they're learning. This model gets applied not only to the student, the undergraduate, during that 3 or 4 year course at university, but it can be applied systematically across all the key phases of that young person's life, through school, through university, and through those early roles in business. And business is involved throughout, in developing and delivering the curriculum, in identifying problems for students to solve, in hiring students on the basis of performance, and continuing their development through the company. This is a strong basis, I think, for the way in which the university can engage with business. But here's the new thing. This isn't the university engaging with business through its research function. It's the university engaging with business through its education function. And what you see here is, in effect, an integrated learning community across learners, teachers, and business. If you look around the world, you can see parts of that ecosystem working in many different places. A great example will be here in Korea, the strong research and knowledge transfer relationship between KAIST and, say, Samsung. Another example, I guess, would be Hanyang and Hyundai. And this is terrific work. But my point is, it's only one aspect of the broader ecosystem for which I'm advocating. You can also see emerging strong relationships between universities and school systems. So in London, University College London, UCL, one of our top research organizations now, has created the UCL Academy, a school which is in effect a feeder school. The point is that faculty in the university have co-developed the curriculum with the school, and all the resources in the university are open to all the young people in that school. So again, you've got a part of that ecosystem beginning to work, but only a part. And maybe the most mature version, though still a partial one of the